Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of 5 Seconds of Spring. 5 Seconds of Spring. We're in Luke 24. We're going through the last 40 days of Jesus' life on earth. And yesterday we talked about actually Easter Sunday where he was not there. And, the women, we talked about that the women went to the tomb and they looked and then they came back to tell the guys. And they're so crazy, just I'm imagining freaking out that the guys don't understand. And living in a house with myself, and then we have 3 daughters. And so my husband and son, all the time, this happens a lot where they don't know. We're just all, la, 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 and I can see the two of them look at each other like, what's up, the ladies. And so anyway, so I kind of feel like that's how the disciples felt this particular day, where they're like, what are y'all talking about? But anyway, so the Marys, that's where we're going to pick up the story in Luke 24 in verse 9, where the Marys are running back to tell the disciples, okay? And so it said, when they came back from the tomb, they told all of these things to the 11 and to all the others. It was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary, the mother of James, and the others with them who told this to the apostles. But they did not believe the women because their words seemed to them like nonsense, which was just really a nice way of saying they were freaking out. But then Peter, and precious Peter, just impulsive Peter, ran to the tomb because he wanted to see for himself. And so it said, Peter, however, got up and ran to the tomb. Bending over, he saw the strips of linen laying by themselves, and he went away, wondering to himself what had happened. And I think that a lot of people can identify with the way that Peter felt, just, sometimes in their own situations, going, God, where are you? Just kind of wondering what has happened. And that story continues as the day progresses or the days progress. And so then Jesus is found walking on it's called the road to Emmaus. And there were 2 disciples on that road. And I want you to hear in the scriptures kind of their thoughts as well. And it's kind of similar to Peter, but it says in verse 13, it says, now that same day, the 2 of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. He asked them, what are you discussing together as you walk along? So basically, in today's, translation, it'd be like, hey, what's up? What are y'all talking about? And I think this is kind of funny because then it said they stood still, their faces downcast. Oh, I don't think that part's funny, but just hold on. And then it said one of them, named Cleopas, asked him, are you only a visitor to Jerusalem and do not know the things that have happened there in these days? Basically going, where have you been? A really big thing. It's been all over Facebook. The nightly news. We're talking a huge deal. Jesus Christ was crucified, and now we can't find him. Where have you been? And so then Jesus, who they don't know is Jesus, says, what things? He asked. About Jesus of Nazareth, they replied. He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priest and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. And here's where I just think it just so relates to us, because it says, but we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the 3rd day since all of this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but they didn't find his body. They came and told us what they had seen, that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but him they did not see. And those words, but we had hoped, I just feel like they could be words that we speak, because all of us at times have been like, God, where were you? Kind of like Peter, wondering what had happened, and maybe even saying, God, I had hoped you were going to come through on that. I thought you were going to come through. I prayed and prayed about that, and I really hoped that was something that you were going to do. And it's disappointing when it doesn't happen. But I know, we know God he's not a magician. It's not like he goes, oh, that's what you want. Okay, poof, here you go. His ways are higher than ours. He has good plans for us. But so often we're like Peter. We're just wondering what happened. And we're wondering what is going on. And it's kind of like I said yesterday, but he's still there. And we're going to see that in the scripture tomorrow, in our reading tomorrow. But if you are living in one of those times, perhaps right now, perhaps it's with a child or a marriage or, finances or a job or something where you're like, God, I've been praying about this forever. And I hoped things were going to be different. And it's not that he's forgotten. It's not that he doesn't hear you. And it's not even that he's not answering. It's just that perhaps he's not answering in the way that we want or right now. But we're going to especially see tomorrow. He's still there. He's still listening. He still, like I said yesterday, has us in the palm of his hand, and he loves us so much. And his promises to us are so good. And that is why that we still follow him today, because he is real and he rose from the dead for us. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to kind of continue along this road to Emmaus with the disciples and see what they find out. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.